Today we have another video from Internet Historian. This is on Incognito mode channel, and it is about space. We usually do one of these about once a week. I think that's been going pretty well, so here's your weekly Internet Historian video.
Space. What is space?
Of course it starts with
Why
that.
do I have to wear a spacesuit? That is so formal. Too cold? Not a problem. I'll just put on a jacket. Why does everyone say you can't go faster than the speed of light? It's super simple. You just go the speed of light, and then you push on the accelerator a little more. Oh
Well,
no.
it looks like we're
Not
learning
the
a lot
sun.
today.
The water will put it out. Hey Alexa, play Who Let the Dogs Out.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't
Alexa,
do that.
play the thing.
Despacito
No.
remix.
Alexa,
Response
play
and
Who Let the
Daddy
Dog... Ah-ha-ha. Now I will be able to get all the best nudes. Hey, you should have
All
closed
the
your
people who
curtain.
had Alexas right there
Ooh, I wonder what's in there.
had her play that.
Oh, hey, how
song.
you doing, little fella? Oh, I think he's just sleeping. Aha! I knew it was fake the whole time.
Oh
All this and
no,
more
here we
on
go.
This episode of In the
Space.
Space. What do you know about space?
Not a lot.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning.
Oh.
We've got
Not
a
the beginning of
ghost.
the universe.
Oh.
The beginning of how people thought space was.
Oh, yeah, so the history of space. Okay,
Oh.
yeah.
So we've got flat Earth, right? Now, there's gonna be a whole
Yes.
bunch of people in the comments that go, "Oh, actually, they've known that the world Earth was round since the Greeks." We know, everybody knows. No one thinks you're smart. Shut up. But there were plenty of societies that did think that the world was flat. Yeah, I saw this in a lecture once, or I overheard it on the bus, or something. But this is how it goes. You've got like this circular flat Earth, right? And then you've got
Yeah.
land in the middle. They call this
Yeah.
area the Mediterranean because that's
Look
the
at that map.
middle land, right? It's right in the center. And then past the land, you've got water. Now, all that water is mostly fine, but if you go a little further out, there's a lot more water, like a shitload more water. These disc maps you see are not to scale. It goes way further out. But if you try to traverse
never
them,
thought
what
about
will
the
happen
water.
is sea monsters, right? They'll destroy your ship. Easy. And you can tell that sea monsters are real because once in a while you get some weird thing that washes up to shore.
A giant
If
squid.
somehow you make it past the sea monsters, you encounter mud.
Just mud?
It's flat mud, and it mixes with the land, so you can no longer pass by it in a boat. So you can try to walk across
How
it,
did they
but
know this?
It's basically like quicksand, you just straight into it. But somehow, if you manage to traverse this plain of mud, which is even larger than the ocean itself, it would start to get colder and colder. And eventually that mud becomes frozen, and then
What?
it turns to ice, and then it's just cold
Where is
nothingness
this theory
for
coming
far,
from?
far longer than all the oceans. And then eventually you come to a big mountain range. And this mountain range goes right round the Earth. And it is the thing that at the very top holds up the filament, which is the thing that encompasses the stars.
Wow.
So the mountains go up and then it like holds the star
Yeah.
canopy above
It
the
holds
Earth.
up the heavens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Half of the model is there to dissuade people from trying to find new things, right? Because if you go out on a
yeah.
boat in the ocean, you die. It's the perfect dissuasion. Hey,
I
look,
was about
don't
to
bother
say.
trying to discover
Yeah, we know what's up. Don't go looking.
Australia. If you
Perfect.
go out there, you're going to get eaten, then you're going to sink in the mud, then you're going to freeze to death, and then there's also nothing out there. And that's what keeps everyone safe and alive.
You tell the same story to your kid in the village to not go out into the woods.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
And that, circling around, is why they tell us not to go to Mars, you see. Don't come back.
I do think we'll colonize Mars. Probably not quite in our lifetime.
You reckon?
I
think we'll land a person there on Mars in 20 years.
20 years. You're
Yep.
a dreamer, Internet Historian.
A lot of the original impetus for the space race to the moon was out of competition with the Soviet Union, right?
Yes.
Then we beat them and everyone went, nah, can't be bothered. Now we're back at war with China, so I reckon space race back on. Otherwise, China's going to stick a big flag in it and say, actually, you know what, Mars? It's always belonged to China.
Their flag would
Mars.
look better on Mars, just saying.
It'll blend in too much.
It already looks like a flag for Mars. It's got stars on it and it's red. It's perfect.
That's That's hard to argue with.
I say
What?
give it to them. And let's be real, a lot of people are probably going to die colonizing Mars, like, at first. They've got the manpower for it. Everyone will just be fighting over the bit where everyone's landing. It's not like someone will be like, well, I'm going to go over to this part of Mars, and, like, that'll be my part. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay here where the Twinkies and the women are.
It would take a
I
lot.
think you'd want to sit up at the poles
planning.
because that's where all the ice is, right?
And how do you run it?
Resources.
It would just,
But
it's going to take
also,
forever.
Because of the rotation of the planet and the angle you come in, it's actually more difficult to land there as well.
I see.
So you would have to actually essentially approach by land. Easier to defend. So you're there on the ice, you've got all your water, and then you're just picking off anyone who dares to approach one of those Mars rovers. The Curiosity rovers, I would presume.
That would be super fun. So you're saying if you're going to fight for Mars, you'd stay at the top, 'cause this is mine. I like that. Yeah, solid.
Build a big igloo, big ice wall, tell everyone to get the fuck out. That'd be awesome.
I love that, yeah.
I don't know about the Mars thing. My brain can't wrap my
Here's the
head
problem.
around it, you know?
It's 1960s, NASA, and they can't figure out how to get things into space. It's too far up, you see. How do we get past the filament into the stars? Ordinary things, you're our best scientist. You gotta come up with something that'll get us there. What do you got? Ordinary rocket propulsion, perhaps? Mentos and Coke. What's the big new idea?
So this is what I've got so far.
Right?
A
A man kneeling on the ground, praying to get to space. I like it. That's a great idea, Ordinary Things. Let me get you the funding right now.
not quite. This is a dog. See, my plan is
A trebuchet.
sort of a trebuchet, yeah.
Let me show you my idea. You've heard of CERN, right?
Yeah, they got the big underground thing.
Yes. So CERN is basically a 25-kilometer ring underground, powered by gigantic magnets that send particles in one direction, getting them faster and faster
I have
and faster.
not heard of
and then
this,
they send
actually.
particles in the other direction, and then eventually they let them collide.
Cool.
Now, what if
For what?
you had an extra track
Yes.
that went like this? You got something up to 99% the speed of light, and then you just hit the switch, and then capsule goes whoosh, terminal velocity.
Love that. So you're thinking you build up as much momentum as possible on Earth using magnets rather than rockets.
Yep.
Is it the size of atoms in this instance? Or
We're going to have to build a bigger one.
All right, bigger CERN. Got it. All right, massive CERN.
Well, you just make the hole in the middle bigger.
Oh,
How'd they build that in the
Atom-sized
first
holes are
place?
small. The only problem I can see is that we're sending people through the Earth's atmosphere at almost the speed of light. They will immediately explode. I think the solution is to put a dog in it.
yeah.
No,
You know
not the
how
dogs.
funny it would be if it was like a Tuesday and the supervisor was out of the office for the day, and then he kind of came back, I just forgot some of my papers, and he comes in, and the guys at CERN are all gathered around because they're firing grapes through CERN at a big cartoonish brick wall. Yeah, go Dave, yeah.
I would love to be at the CERN Christmas party where someone's just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do a shit in the CERN. Because that's what it's called, the CERN.
This CERN.
I would find it
Guys,
very...
why don't I know about the CERN? Why don't I know about this? What is it? It's a magnet thing. What? For
Be
what?
difficult not to get in the CERN
I might
machine,
sound
I
really
think,
dumb
if I
right
was
now. I'm
there.
You go on that
sorry.
blimp. Do you reckon you can get into CERN?
I reckon I could give it a go.
All right, if there's anyone from CERN watching here,
Yeah.
my boy needs a ticket and one for his lady.
I'll email them now.
What
People
is
are thinking about
this?
space travel all wrong. They're rubes. Those guys at NASA, I tell you, rubes. They keep trying to send us to space when we
Yeah.
should be sending space to us.
That's not a bad idea at all. Now, space elevator, very difficult.
Oh my God.
You build the thing 1,000 kilometers up, and then the tip of it is actually rotating faster than the base of it by differences in like hundreds of kilometers an hour. Tensile strength, whole thing wants to break apart, right? Now, if somehow you could make a big anchor, wait, how do you draw an anchor? Here, it wouldn't need to be one rope, because one rope is
Listen
not
up.
going to stay strong.
2 ropes.
Here's 20 meters of rope and then a big joint. Here's 20 meters of rope and a big joint. And you just do that all the way back to Earth.
Love it.
Okay, you'll need like 150,000 kilometers worth of rope. But once you're there, all of a sudden you can just pull things across it, right? What am I missing?
There is one thing.
Yes.
I think the moon moves. So what you're going to end up doing is sort of like wrapping the
Right.
Earth round. That's the one problem. Otherwise, it's flawless.
I've got a solution.
All right.
There's a rail across Earth.
Rail! Oh my god, that's a great idea. That's way better than what I was going to say.
Honestly, not too
You've
bad.
got your hook in here. It's allowed to slide through the rail.
So in theory, we could like lasso the moon in,
Yes.
bring it to us. Is there any minerals on the moon worth having? Any resources?
There is a fair amount of helium and also helium-3.
Well, we are running out of helium, so that is convenient.
There's a pretty good amount of water all over the moon too, so that's why, soon there'll be a
Okay.
moon base. And they'll be able to collect most of the minerals that they need.
Soon there'll be a moon base. They've been promising moon base for years. They've been promising moon base for longer than James Cameron's been promising Avatar, and honestly, sick of this shit.
Well, you know what I'm not sick of? Ad time.
Well-
how's this for a scenario?
It's out
You're
now,
with your
so-
honey, and you both have regular size heads, but you have to share a headphone.
Well,
You lose. The correct answer was to get Raycons.
You're not supposed to answer.
Look, she's with someone new, and she's loving the up to 54 hours of battle life, and she can't stop putting them in her ears. The silky rubber finish is rigged for her pleasure. All right, pub quiz, hotshot. It's Black Friday, and it's time to stomp some heads. You gotta win her back by getting her some kind of present. But you don't want to spend too much money, because she might have moved on. What do you do?
well, I
Get the Raycons. They're half the price of other premium brands, but still sound pretty good. Go to buyraycon.com/incognito to get them. Look, this guy loves them. All right, one father scenario. You're walking down the street, and you see a homeless man, and he asks you for a donation. You've only got one thing on you that's of
The
any value.
Raycons?
What do you do?
Take advantage of the noise reduction?
That's right. You have earned the good ending, where you can enjoy the premium sound of Raycons forever. We've got a computer here too, where you can go to buyraycon.com/incognito to get 20% off site-wide. Whoa, 30% off holiday bundles. Whoa, this really is heaven. And free shipping to the United States. And over.
Say you had a box and you put it on like a little satellite that you were going to send to an alien
Yeah.
planet. Like, what items would you put in there to represent like human civilization?
Good question. How big's a box?
Let's say it's the size of like a caravan.
Oh, big. Okay,
Wow.
definitely a person then.
Okay, just like a
Like-
dude, like a dead guy, or just.
Yeah, they can be dead. That's fine.
That's not a
No,
bad
I think
idea.
there'd be
Like a
plenty of
dead
people
guy who's like
who would
kept
volunteer
from
for that.
oxygen so he doesn't rot. So they've got like a fully
I'll
preserved.
just keep him in a cardboard box.
Just dump it.
Yes. So
We don't have the budget for something bigger.
I like the idea that when they just open up the flaps of the cardboard box, they ooh.
Oh my god.
I suppose you'd have a man
Yeah.
and a woman.
yeah.
A phone.
A phone, like an iPhone.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to give them the latest one because they don't know.
An iPhone 5 with a cracked screen.
Yeah,
All right.
it's not like they're going to start using it.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck
How
it.
would they
I'd
even know?
probably get rid of just some trash. There's quite a lot of trash around.
And some batteries.
Yeah, because you can't dispose of batteries anywhere.
Yeah.
Bottle of Coke, full bottle. I kind of like the idea that you're... Okay, so when you're a pirate, right?
I'm sure
yeah, I'm
Coca-Cola
familiar.
would definitely do that.
Burying treasure. Someone finds it 500 years later and they go, wow, this is not just a historical find. I'm going to be rich.
Love that.
I like the idea that they find a couple of human corpses, but also half a dozen bottles of Coca-Cola. There's going to be some rich one who's like, bruh, yeah, I'll pay you 50 billion alien pesos for half a bottle or something.
I think that's the first actually like really good suggestion for the alien box. I mean, fuck Coca-Cola, but it's also a very popular drink and like a good representation of Western
They would
society. It's
absolutely
everywhere
do
in the
this as an
world.
advertisement.
Great, and also they might be pleased. They're like, oh, this is a treat, or maybe it'll kill them. But great suggestion.
Thank you. Maybe also
Music, I reckon.
music.
Mozart on a vinyl, yeah.
Another good one. A
But what if
handgun.
that sounds
Yeah,
bad
just
to
to
them?
show them that we mean business would be good.
Yeah, well, we'll rig it up to a tripwire. Don't touch my stuff. All right, you're stuck in space. You're floating around.
Sweet.
Oh my god.
Loving it.
You're in
Nightmare.
a spacesuit. I come floating up to you. I go, ordinary things. Help. Help. My oxygen tank has been pierced. I'm gonna die.
Ooh.
Well-
Oh, that sucks for you.
No, that's not what you say. Now, we've got just enough time.
Tape.
Quick, we can both survive, but we're going to both have to get into the same spacesuit.
I've been
What?
tricked like this before.
So we have to both squeeze in there. The question is, are you taking the front or the back?
I'll take the front, I think. I'd rather be in the driver's seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust you.
I swear, that's just my wallet, I swear.
It's not gay if it's on the moon.
Yeah, like legitimately, like you come back to Earth and they'll go, no, it wasn't. It's the moon. It doesn't count at all.
Doesn't count. No.
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they could have done it on the moon.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been considered gay. And then I suppose
We were
Guys,
lovers on
what?
the moon. You know, that's different.
someone shut this man up. Right, someone comes
I
to you and says
remember
ordinary
that.
things. You may see
Wait, what the heck was that
universe,
cartoon from? I remember watching that.
but
Is it
we can't travel fast on the speed of
Magic School Bus, isn't it?
light. So you have
Yes.
to go into the cryopod.
That was the best.
The old time delay.
Yes, you can go to Alpha Centauri, but it will take 100 years and everyone you know will be dead. Do you do it?
And you do.
I don't want to just be like launched into the equivalent of Mars in Alpha Centurion. Just be like, well, I'm here and I'm dead. I'm
Yeah.
No, they don't just drop
Like-
you off. You get to go on like a nice big ship. Maybe there's a nice lady there who's also frozen.
Yeah, nice little lady, a nice A-list celeb lady who is inexplicably an astronaut, as in all those movies.
Yeah, and you wake her up early, and because you woke up early, and
Welcome. Whoopsie, but you don't have another choice, so you have to be my friend.
would you do it? Would you want to be one of the crew that goes to Alpha Centauri?
I think I
No.
would. I think it's
I
worth
wouldn't.
it to go do something that literally
that
no
far.
one else has done before. I'm down.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah.
If you were one of the first people to Alpha Centauri, you'd just have thousands of things named after you forever.
The whole planet. You get the planet.
Yeah.
If you're the first one there, it's like, this is me land, baby.
Yeah.
No governments. Money is banned. And I haven't thought this through.
You know, if you look at a place like Earth, every creek, every little nook or rock has a name to
Right.
it. They
Yes.
did that like when people first came to Australia, and I can't help but notice that everything here is named either Murray or after Batman or
After Batman. Wait.
yeah, you don't know about everything being called Batman here?
No, that's new to me. That's
Oh,
news.
there's this guy. His name's like John Batman. And so there's like a Batman River and like a Batman street.
You're kidding.
In middle of Melbourne. No.
No way.
He just
John
walked around and
Batman.
decided
Oh my god, I'm
he
looking
wanted
him
his
up
name
now.
on stuff.
What?
Look, in the
Uh-oh.
past, how long did it take for people to get from England to Australia? What was it like?
Oh, like a month.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's like
8
okay, how long does it
months.
take to get to Mars? At optimal speed, I think 9 months.
So what you're saying is that we should put all our criminals on Mars.
Hey, it worked once.
Did it though?
How come Australia doesn't get a bit of a pass with a lot of its history?
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the terrible things that were done to the Aboriginals. But it's like, okay, but have you seen the average criminal reoffending rates? What did you expect?
Oh God!
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
like we sent them our best. We should.
that is very
I never
true.
thought about it like that, but that's honestly like a really decent argument for giving Australia a pass. But like,
Yeah, although it means they did all this stuff while they were out on probation.
Yeah, but
Now,
it happened
everybody
in a
goes,
lot of
"Oh, what
places
the heck?
with
Why
normal
did you
people
demote
too. So
Pluto from planet to dwarf planet.
yes.
And I can't help but agree.
Yeah.
So basically, they had an idea in mind to make Pluto not a planet, and then they changed all the rules to make it fit their space-based agenda.
Celestial identity
And why
politics have
was
gone
this?
too far. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. There's 3 rules for a planet. Number 1, it must orbit a star. Okay, very good. We're all on board for that, and that's one of the
Okay.
old rules.
That's fine. I can accept that.
Hmm.
Asteroids, not planets. Cool.
Number 2, it must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape. Agreed. That's a brilliant
Okay.
one.
Fine, I'll accept that. But if we
All the
see
planets
a cube
I've seen
planet
around
at
or
some
whatever,
point,
sort
then
of.
I feel like we will need to revisit this rule. But as it stands, fine.
Yeah, if there was something as big as Earth, but somehow
That would be
cube,
so cool.
that would change the rules
Cube
again.
Earth.
Yeah. Now, the new rule they brought in was it must be big enough that its gravity clears away any other objects of similar size in its orbit.
Bullshit.
That is a very specific rule, just designed to persecute Pluto.
Who came up with this rule?
Well, it was a big committee made up of the Deep Space State. And
Oh,
one of
God.
the reasons that they essentially made this rule was because, well, Pluto actually has a moon that's almost the same size as Pluto. So
But like, who cares? Why did they go out of the way to do this in the first place? What difference does it really make? Like, honestly,
Pluto wouldn't even just be one planet, it would be like several planets. But also, out in the Oort cloud, there are probably similar sized planets to Pluto, but hundreds, maybe thousands of them.
I see.
Okay.
And so
Oh.
actually, even in our own given solar system, there would be thousands of them. So what they're running into is a naming problem.
I see.
Because, well, we can't teach kids that there are thousands of planets. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, turns
Yeah.
out there are thousands of planets, and a lot of them are really boring and far away. Okay, but here's the main 9.
Yeah, here's the big 9. Why don't you just call them the big planets and the small planets and be done with it?
There's also a couple of objects
Keep
in
it how
the
it was,
Kuiper
really.
Belt, I think, that would suddenly qualify as planets. So Ceres would suddenly become a planet.
Ceres? What even is Ceres? Oh, Ceres. Okay. But that's clearly a
dwarf
moon.
planet.
It looks like a moon.
Well, it's not what it looks like, it's how it acts, isn't it?
It looks
It's
like
in
a
the
moon.
orbit between Mars and Jupiter.
Oh, what? Why don't we just make Ceres a planet
Yes,
instead?
absolutely.
To be honest, I'm just going to show my ignorance of it, but I've never heard of Ceres before. In a way,
I've
I feel
never
like
heard of
you
it
just
either,
made
don't
this
worry.
up to make me look strange. Wait, what's make?
Maki Maki.
Maki maki. Is that a type of sushi?
Oh, yeah, okay. It's another planet that's just further out.
Oh, I love
What?
it. It's cute.
I mean, it's a dwarf planet, but
Why does one of them have boobies?
this one.
There's no need for that. Come on.
Eris? Oh, it's a dwarf
God.
planet as well.
I'm learning new things here.
Well, no more learning. It's time for some answers, damn it. Big question time. Ordinary things.
Yeah.
Are there any aliens?
No.
All right. Is the universe infinite?
It's like a bike wheel. Technically, it's infinite, but you just end up where you were in the first place.
That's good enough for me. Is there
Okay.
a god?
Yes, and it's me. Suck my...
There we go. Will we ever find out all of the mysteries of the universe?
What if we already have...
I'll tell you what it is. The real answer is love. And that's all you need.
Space or love, which is bigger?
That's always
and if you
the
could only
answer.
have one, what would you have?
What about space love?
Is that like 0G shagging?
Yeah, or where you're on the moon and someone says like, "Oh, I love you." It's like kind of non-committal, and they don't really hear you on the radio, and you go, "What?" And they go, "Oh, nothing, over."
What if you're on the moon and then they go in to kiss and then they accidentally shatter their space helmets?
No. Like two people vigorously doing cheers.
Yes. Moon love turns to moon tragedy.
It must happen all the time.
What just
On
happened?
the moon, in the future, we'll all have Raycons.
Oh my gosh, guys. I really like this. I like there was a discussion. It was interesting and funny. Of course, it was funny. I would like to see more of these videos that are in this style. This person is Ordinary Things, who has his own channel. So maybe go check that one out too. I'll leave this one in the description if you want to go watch it. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know which one I should do next. I do have one suggestion from you guys that I'm going to watch, which is the No Man's Sky video. That's the one that should be next. We'll see. So yeah, again, I'll leave this in the description if you want to go watch it, and I'll see you in the next one.